Hello, welcome. In this video we explain about history of Kuwait. In the 7th century AD, Kuwait became part of the Arab Empire. In 1521, Kuwait was under Portuguese control. Since 1581, Kuwait has been ruled by the Khalid family, a constitutional monarchy. Meanwhile, in the late 16th century, the Portuguese also built a series of defenses. In 1613, Kuwait town was established near present-day Kuwait city. In 1705, the Khalid royal family, a constitutional monarchy, declined. And some of Kuwait's territory was occupied and ruled by the Bani Atbar tribe, Bani. Known as the Garain, Sadir Atbar of the Bani Atbar tribe established a town and port here and named it Kuwait, small castle, from Kut, meaning fortress, derived from the Persian Kud, meaning city. In 1756, Sheikh Sabah Abu Abdullah, the head of the Sabah family, was named the first chief of Kuwait, Emir, and established the Haikdom of Kuwait, in 1776. After the Iranian Qajar dynasty occupied Basra, after some Persian businessmen moved to Kuwait, the British East India Company also moved its establishment in Basra to Kuwait, which made Kuwait prosper. However, in order to have self-government, Kuwait must maintain good relations with Ottoman Turkey and even recognize Turkey's suzerainty over it. In 1822 the British governor moved from Basra to Kuwait. In 1871, the Emirate of Kuwait was incorporated into the territory of the Ottoman Empire. And its territory was planned in Basra state, now a province of Iraq, as a Khazar, but in fact the Emirate of Kuwait still maintained part of its autonomy. In 1896, Mubarak al-Sabah, the head of the Sabah family, proclaimed himself king, and asked for British protection for fear of Turkish interference in Kuwait's political situation. In July 1897, Mubarak invited the British to deploy gunboats along the coast of Kuwait. This led to the so-called First Kuwait Crisis, in which the Turks demanded that Britain stop interfering in their empire. In the end, with the consent of the Ottoman Empire, it did not turn into a war. In 1899, due to the conflict between Mubarak and the Turks, at the instigation of a British officer, British Kuwait signed the Anglo-Kuwaiti Agreement of 1899, in which Mubarak assured not to lease or cede any part of the country to any country or subject other than England. No representative of any foreign country shall be permitted to be stationed in his country without the consent of England. The United Kingdom recognizes Kuwait as an independent country, protects it from aggression, and provides it with financial assistance. In 1913, the United Kingdom and Turkey signed the Gulf Agreement, English, Anglo-Ottoman Convention of 1913, which stipulated, Kuwait is within the sovereignty of the Ottoman government, but the government will not interfere in its affairs in any way, nor send troops. Go there. The Ottoman Empire recognized Kuwait's autonomy under British protection. Before the First World War, on July 29, 1913, Kuwait was an autonomous county of Basra under the Ottoman Turkish Empire. Kuwait became independent on June 19, 1961. Iraq still recognizes the Iraqi-Kuwait border in the 1913 Gulf Agreement, 4. But since Kuwait's independence in 1961, the Iraqi government has been seeking various opportunities to annex Kuwait. The invasion was finally averted after an international Arab force opposed Iraq's actions in Kuwait, 5-6. After the Iran-Iraq War began, relations between the two countries thawed for a decade, with Kuwait supporting Iraq against Iran. On August 2, 1990, Kuwait was accused by the Iraqi authorities of deliberately pushing down oil prices. The then Iraqi President Saddam Hussein declared Kuwait is a province of Iraq and launched an invasion. Kuwait's military resistance too low to fall quickly. This led to a meeting of the UN Security Council to condemn and plan to impose economic sanctions on Iraq, isolating Iraq internationally. On January 17, 1991, under Operation Desert Storm, the coalition led by the United Kingdom and the United States launched large-scale airstrikes against Iraq and occupied Kuwait. The airstrikes ended on February 28 of the same year, when Iraqi forces under Saddam Hussein decided to withdraw from the invasion of Kuwait. On February 26, 1991, Kuwait returned to the country. On March 6, Kuwaiti Emir Jaber and other government officials returned to Kuwait mainland. 7. On January 15, 2006, the Emir Jaber Ahmed al-Sabah died at the age of 77. Cousin Crown Prince Saad Abdullah Salim al-Sabah ascended the throne. On January 21, the cabinet meeting led by Prime Minister Sabah Ahmed al-Jabir al-Sabah decided to start the constitutional process to force Saad to abdicate and let Prime Minister Sabah succeed him. Saad, however, asked Congress to convene the next day for him to be formally sworn in. Saad was forced to abdicate the throne on January 24. On January 29, the Kuwaiti parliament unanimously approved the case of Prime Minister Sabah as Emir. Prime Minister Sabah was then sworn in as Emir, as Sabah IV. On May 21, 2006, because some members of parliament had disputes with the Prime Minister on the revision of the parliamentary election law, Emir Sabah issued an edict to dissolve the parliament and hold an early general election. 8. On June 29, the general election of the National Assembly was officially held, and Kuwaiti women exercised the right to vote and be elected for the first time in history.
I hope you enjoy our video. If you enjoy our video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe and share.